Hey guys, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to thank you so much for the continuous support, suggestions and phone calls, and happy holidays. I wish you all a prosperous new year. So today's vlog, we go back to CARDI and we kind of look at a different aspect of the small ruminant sector. We look at a different side of sheep rearing, and at the same time we look at some different breeds that can be found in the island and focus on the dairy aspect, which I think is a multi-million-dollar aspect of the market that we're not tapping into.
So we haven't seen an Alpine buck. Welcome.
As it relates to the characteristics, as I said, you have different colors that you use to associate the animals with. So you have right here the Alpine, he has a coal-black kind of color. As it relates to the Toggenburg right here, you can see that he has a grayish in color, and his horn set is significantly different. As it has a scimitar kind of horn set, it goes backward and kind of like twists to either side.
Oh, okay.
Right? So that's basically the characteristics as it relates to the animal. Now, as we take a look as it relates to other infrastructure, you can see that we have our pallets as well as our concrete structures. Now, as it relates to the structures itself, the pallet helps to facilitate the cleaning of the property a lot easier. And as you guys may see, we have a vermicomposting site. So here, we kind of take that holistic approach. Holistic approach meaning that every system on the farm is integrated, so nothing goes to waste. So the output from one operation can become the input of another. So basically what I'm saying is that the feces that the goats excrete, we then send them to a vermicomposting site whereby the worms break down the feces. And over a period of time, say 6 to 8 weeks, once the conditions are favorable, as well as the labor that is provided, right? You find that you have that rich granular form of the compost that is in turn used on your plants or agronomic practices. And as time goes by, we'll show you what that looks like. Now here we have our creep feeding area. As you can notice, we just recently underwent our kidding season. So right now, roughly off the top of my head, I can tell you that we have 23 kids and there are about 13 lambs, right? And the breeds, as I made mention earlier, you have the Nubians, Alpines and Dorpers, right? So here's just a rundown of what our animals look like. Of course, the pre-feed area, we kind of barricade it off because we don't want the mothers to be severely affected by the kids. Because if you continuously have the kids and the mother, at the end of the day, their body conditioning is going to go down. And we don't want that. Or sick bay. So from time to time, we figure that our animals are going to come down with severe conditions. Whether it is insect or parasite infestation, and as such, we generally like to isolate that animal and put all emphasis on that animal to bring it back to where it was. So this is a prime example.
What's wrong with her?
Yeah, she's sick. So our diagnosis is that we believe she has been severely infested with parasites. And one of the major parasites or worms that a goat may come down with is the Haemonchus contartus. And with that said, it's one very terrible parasite in order to combat. So therefore you have to have a rigid deworming program. So here at Motta, what we generally do, we deworm accordingly. Meaning that at the end of the day, we have to go through and do a FarmerKhalil scoring by checking the pigmentation of the animal's eyelids. Boar buck. Lovely animal. Very lovely animal. Likewise, we have a Nubian here that recently had very little young boy. You know?
Insemination with Alpine semen?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, nice.
Only Alpine offsprings as well as mothers inside. Now I'm going to show you one of the products of artificial insemination here at Motta. And this is an offspring right here that we have. Yes, it's an Alpine.
Nice.
For sale?
No, definitely not. So basically what we did, we want to improve the overall gene pool here at the station. So therefore, a farmer can come and see what Alpines look like, what a boar look like, depending on the different characteristics that we want to provide. As well as, oh, it's feisty.
Yes.
So this one right here is the offspring of the Toggenburg that we told you about. So this is the offspring of the Alpine tag.
Okay,
right?
Nice cross.
And it's a very nice cross. You can see, mark you, it's because of the tag that is causing the ear to droop like this. But at the day of birth or after birth, they were like a Digicel light pole, I can tell you.
Erect.
Very erect.
So why are you doing a breeding program with Alpines and Toggenburgs? What's the end game for you?
Alright, so at the end of the day, we don't want to be just a station that focus mainly or primarily on meat production.
Okay.
Because there are different avenues as it relates to small ruminants. And this includes, of course, dairy. And a lot of things is that dairy, in my opinion, is not being highlighted as it relates to small ruminant production. As the value-added assets that are products that can be generated from these animals' milk is endless. So you have the yogurt, the cheese, etc. Right? So at the end of the day, we want animals that are dairy producers, the Alpine, right? Of course, the Toggenburg.
Good plan.
And the Nubian.
Meaning Dorper type sheep. So what can I say about sheep? Sheep production is one of the most efficient small ruminants in terms of feed conversion. They eat little, they can eat little to nothing and still put on or make 100 meat. It is one of the operations which I love because it can be measured easily. You can see growth rates. The thing is that what we try to do is that we try to always have young ones. So it's either offspring shows that there is possibly no work being done. So we always try to encourage the persons working, myself, along with my team members, to always continue to breed the females, so we can also have genetics to sell as breeding stock or to have as a source of meat. So primarily, from having here, a lot of farmers tend to want breeding stock. So it's either they want some ewes or they want a ram. Other farmers like the taste of the meat. They say it's kind of softer, so they try to attain them at a younger age. But because this is a demonstration and training center, what we try to do is to encourage that we continue to collect data on animals, measuring their average daily gain, from birth weight to average daily gain, weaning weight and so forth. So we try to sell around the age of 6 to 8 months. Farmers tend to not want that because they want to grow the animal themselves. But what we have to remember is that CARDI is a research institution and not a commercial farm, where our primary focus is not to commercialize. Even though we tend to try to support farmers by providing breeding stock and meat, our primary focus is to provide paperwork done, research, so that whenever farmers visit, we can say, alright, this is what you can feed. Don't feed that. You can try this way. You can use these measures and concepts to build your farm. So basically, that is it for the sheep. We will pause now for any questions, concerns, queries.
Royal.
Sheep. If you can mix the sheep with the goats, like the ram, jump the sheep, and you have an expert.
Well, what I can say is that if you have both of them in the pen, it's possible that the ram will do that. But in terms of conception, no, it's not possible. Being that they are two different species and they have two different chromosomes. So therefore, once if you were to insert semen from the ram to a goat, the animal won't get pregnant. Alright, that's a myth. Right, my supervisor had mentioned that they had done some work years ago.
Like a goat or a sheep?
Jeep.
It's a mixture of both, and for added information, you have other breeds of sheep will look just like the goat.
Goats, true.
Yeah, because these.
Alright, so maybe you could talk about the characteristics. Maybe some of that. So this is the Dorper.
Yeah.
And this black and white one is.
Yes, it's a Dorper. So
Dorper.
So it's a Dorper type, and these are Dorper type sheep, meaning they can range from blackhead to whitehead or black and whitehead. This animal is the only animal on the farm which has the most cathartic in it. It's kind of longer and taller than the Dorper.
This is a white, this is a full white Dorper.
Yeah. I think it's come from the ET program.
Yeah.
This is a hell of an animal.
Yeah, man. So no, I was pointing out to the female, you know.
Yeah, man, the female.
But this is a Dorper type.
And this one here, isn't this like a black belly?
Yeah, black belly.
Alright, so the sheep that we have on the farm is Dorper type.
Dorper
With an
type.
exception to that one, he has a mix of Dorper and Cathartic.
And Cathartic.
Yes, 007, James Bond.
In having our own Jamaican sheep, which is a St. Elizabeth sheep.
So you and this Motta are generally spread across Jamaica? Are you talking about here particularly? So what I've been told is that
Elizabeth native.
no, well,
Yeah.
Good question.
Native. Thinking that to preserve our own, what we have as Jamaicans, St. Elizabeth is our own.
Yes.
And I know with Mr. Hodaro on his farm,
Yes.
he has, I don't know if anybody else that has the St. Elizabeth sheep.
I think that animal extinct. That's my take.
No, he has some. He's
Yeah,
the only
that's
one I
good.
know in
Good
St.
some.
Elizabeth.
That's good.
When I native goat or sheep, they tend to have more resistance to whatever is out there. So what I believe the industry should do is partake in building a strain or a line, whether it's a sheep or it's a goat, that has a lot of percentage of the native, because the native does well in extreme conditions. Their resistance level is higher than
In any condition. If you come up here, you see, as you can see, if you go town, you see the native goat, them walk up and down.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with it. If you go,
Yes.
so them adapt to any condition very quickly.
So if we can get that gene pool from the native animals and create a line where we have those type of resistance and those type of vigor, Jamaica can only go forward from here, and it is up on us as a research station and as a people, as farmers, to pull together to try to help to create these lines so we can maximize on production and sustainability in the small ruminant sector.
But I've heard of one such line. They call it the hybrid Vigor, where they put a new with one of the board Nubian.
Yes, so our hybrid Vigor is a term which can be used in terms of breeding. So once you're crossbreeding, you're going to get that hybrid Vigor. So I advise farmers, because a lot of farmers come here and they say that they have native goats. The first thing when I hear that, I'm starting to smile because I'm happy. Because once they get one of our animals, which is normally about 75% and up, and they introduce that male or female to their native animal, they're going to get that hybrid Vigor. So I always encourage them, don't get rid of those native animals, whether it's sheep or goat. Keep them, use them to build your own line. Because one of the problems that Jamaica faces is that everybody basically have the same line. So if I buy an animal from down the road, right, and I go down the next lane that I go, that farmer is already buying from that same farmer. So when I have those two animals, they basically either they're near, them are far brother, far sister. So what we need to do is to try to use also assisted breeding techniques such as AI or ET, embryo transfer, to help to create new strains and new lines.
Cannot overstate the importance of forages in our nutrition of our animals. Like goat and sheep and cattle, they are ruminants. And what ruminant means, it means that they have the ability to harvest feed that is not simple sugar feed, so to speak, or simple starch feed. But they have the ability to convert what we call normally roughage, to convert that into good food. Right? So today, we were going to be looking at the forages of forage and legumes, and they can assist with the cotton carry production or grazing grass. So today we'll take a short moment to go through this, and then the second part of our exercise we'll go and actually make some silage. I know some of you would have been exposed to this already, but we're going to do it a little bit differently. We're going to put some additives in there. And Mr. Brown will take you through that silage process. And especially your sheep will eat you in the house and that. But the rule of thumb says that when an animal is eating, is being fed fodder, and then eat, and about 15% I think, when you can't manage, that's time to get. But that's a rule. If you feel that with sheep, you probably have a dead friend yourself. So it's just a rule. You know, so in other words, what I'm saying, if you cut a little bit of grass and chew in the pen, in half an hour you don't see no need. But it means that they're not getting enough. Right? And that is different from when you feed them and they eat and eat until evening. And in the middle of the night they come back and you don't see the feed. There's nothing wrong with that. Right? But it's when you cut a little grass, kill them and they eat it up quick, I understand. So when they belly full, you know, so they have about 15% of grass and not concentrate. Because if you feed them concentrate, them sheep and some goats will eat in the day. So that's a lesson. Alright.